Nigeria's National Development Plan, NDP 2021-2025, is a medium-term blueprint designed to unlock the country's potential in all sectors of the economy for a sustainable, holistic, and inclusive national development. The plan, which was developed by the different facets of the private sector, subnational government, civil society organizations, and facilitated by the federal government, was deliberately done for inclusiveness, participation, and citizens' engagement to ensure no one is left behind. But taking a critical look at the NDP as a medium-term blueprint delivered on the laudable initiatives contained in the plan, a big question. Let's get details of this plan and understand what it stands for and what should be expected. Let's talk more on this, and I'm being joined via Zoom by the Director of Macro, Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget, and National Planning, Dr. Felix Okonkwo. Dr. Okonkwo, thank you so much. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Yes, let me start very quickly now. What is the National Development Plan? Tell us more about this. What is it all about?
Thank you very much. And thank you, viewers, for this opportunity to talk to Nigerians about the plan.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, okay. The plan, National Development Plan 2021 to 2025, is the successor plan to the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, which ended in December 2020. As you said in your opening statement, the plan is designed to unlock the country's potentials in all sectors of the economy for an inclusive and sustainable economic growth and development. And the plan equally is designed to deepen the initiatives for growth and accelerate diversified economic development. It is designed to lift 35 million Nigerians out of poverty and create 21 million direct jobs by 2025. It's a medium-term plan. And the investment size for the plan is 348.1 trillion for the plan period. So this is a very good initiative of federal government that is designed to ensure that all those things we listed are achieved within the plan period. Like I said, it's a successor to the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan. You remember that we had the Vision 2020, which was a long-term plan, and we had the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, which ended in 2022. That was a medium-term plan that was used to implement the vision document. So this is a plan that replaces the ERGP.
It's a very good way to start, Dr. Okonkwo, because I was about to ask that we've had economic plans in the past, like the Vision 2020, the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, which many would say we are yet to see the effect, or maybe the effect of all of this. Yes, that way. Now, what's going to be different about this, and some more aspects of the economy do you think this plan will be focusing on?
Thank you very much. It's not right for one to assume that the ERGP, the effect was not, felt by Nigerians.
Good.
Because this is not evidence-based. The assumption is not evidence-based. The ERGP was meant for Nigeria to exit the recession that we entered into in 2016 and to stabilize the macroeconomic environment. That and then place Nigeria on the path of sustainable growth. That was what the ERGP was meant to achieve. And this plan significantly achieved these objectives. Nigeria exited recession and in 2016, and unfortunately in 2020 we got into another recession. But those things were beyond what we could do. Like 2020 recession was as a result of the COVID pandemic. So the plan achieved a lot of the things it targeted. stabilizing the macroeconomic environment, ensuring sustainable growth. If you recall, you will see that during the period, the plan was growing. Nigeria was growing at an average of 7% during the period, and then this plan stabilized the economic environment and ensured that Nigeria, achieved the growth. You understand? So that is exactly what the plan did, and as I said, the plan is different. The current plan we have now is different from the previous plans. Because as you said in your introductory statement, there was inclusiveness in the process for the preparation of the plan. And then the lessons were learned from implementing the ERGP and other previous plans were taken into account when we were preparing this plan. This plan has 3 volumes, unlike the previous plans. Volume 1, which is the policy document, and we have volume 2 that has cost and capital programs and projects. Then there is volume 3 that has what we call legislative imperatives. These are the binding constraints that were identified in the course of plan preparation process that needed to be removed to ensure that the implementation of the plan is hitch-free and seamless. And these are the things this plan intends to achieve. Obviously, the outcome of this plan will help us achieve all the things we stated in the plan. And it's going to be different from the previous plans we have implemented in the past. The results will be different entirely.
Now, during your comments at the Vanguard Economic Discourse, that was sometimes in May, you stated that this National Development Plan will be participatory and inclusive, unlike previous plans. Inclusiveness is key to me and, of course, to Nigerians. Can you shed more light on how you intend to drive this?
Thank you. The process for the preparation of this plan, unlike the previous plans, is largely inclusive. The previous plans were driven by consultants hired to prepare the plan. Nigerians were not involved. They prepared the document and then gave it to us. We looked at it and then we started implementing. And that was why we had problems, challenges of implementation. But this one, Nigerians were involved from the beginning to the end. In fact, all segments of the society were involved. All the state governments were involved. Local government areas were involved. Civil society organizations were involved. Development partners, faith-based organizations, all of them were involved. And then we prepared a plan that we can call our own. There is ownership, there is inclusivity, there is Nigerians own it, as a matter of fact. So it's a different plan altogether, and that's why Nigerians are happy with what we have done. Even the market women were involved, the traders were involved, NANs were involved, and the local government areas, the states had dominated two persons per state, apart from the governors who are members of the steering committee. There are technical officers from the states who were involved in the technical working groups, 26 of that prepared this plan. These things were done, and then before the plan was validated by all those stakeholders, and then launched by Mr. President on 22nd of December 2021. And that's why we are now implementing the plan as a national development plan that replaced the ERGP.
Interesting stuff. Let's get into this now more interestingly. Now, it is alleged, of course, that about 10,000 plus Nigerian doctors are practicing in the UK alone. And the numbers are increasing given the recent drift of young Nigerians out of the country. And of course, the National Development Plan prescribes a baseline for doctors to patient ratio at 38 to 100,000. Now, where is there in the plan to make living the country not exciting or enticing, and thus discourage many more Nigerian trained doctors from leaving the country in order for these baselines to be achieved? This is indeed very important.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me.
Go ahead, loud and clear.
All right. Thank you very much. This plan has a robust strategy, a very robust strategy for enhancing business environment. Government is going to create an enabling environment for business to thrive in the country. And then the private sector is to lead the implementation process of this plan. So we have a situation where Nigerians leave the country because the environment is not conducive for them to do their businesses and thrive. And the government is now doing things differently. We are going to create an enabling environment to ensure that all the businessmen and women, stay in this country and do their businesses, conveniently. And then the environment, apart from that, we have to put in place the infrastructure that is needed, ensure that system of tax paying taxes, system of business registration are hitch-free. And then there is the need for us to put in place the infrastructure needed for them to reduce the cost of production. And when that is done and the jobs are created, the issue of jackpot syndrome, as we know it, as we call it in Nigerian parlance, will be reduced and people will now start coming home. Instead of Nigerians traveling abroad, those of them who are abroad will now come, even the foreigners will come to invest in Nigeria and they will now attract FDI will be increased. And that is what the government is trying to do. And when we do this, the next thing we do is to create jobs, and then the economy will bounce back, and then things will start moving the way it should be moving in the country. The plan is sufficiently, has enough strategies to ensure that these things are achieved.
Now, how does the federal government also intend to monitor? Because that is something that many would want to ask. Monitoring and evaluation is key in implementing any plan, of course, to follow through to the latter. Can you tell us about this?
Thank you very much. The government intends to, we have put in place a lot of mechanisms to ensure that this plan is adequately monitored. If you look at page 197 of the plan, the plan intends to set up what we call Development Plan Implementation Unit. And in that unit, we have key actors in the plan implementation process. Our ministry, the MIE unit in our ministry, National Bureau of Statistics, Budget Office of the Federation are all members of this committee, the PIU, Plan Implementation Unit. This unit will be reporting to the steering committee to be headed by the vice president. And then my minister will be, or is the deputy to the VP, who is the head of the steering committee. So this unit will be responsible for monitoring plan implementation. Civil society organizations, development partners are all members of this, unlike before, when it is all government affair. But this time around, government is involved, civil society is involved, and development partners are involved. So but the unit is domiciled in the ministry, and then the VP is heading the steering committee. We are going to be doing periodic reporting on the plan implementation, so that Nigerians will know how the plan is being implemented. In addition to that, the ministry has put in place what they call IMAC. The IMAC is a system, an app that has been developed. You can download it on your phone. If you're in your village, you see government projects being implemented, and somebody in Abuja is saying that that government project has been completed. Meanwhile, maybe it's just 50% completion. Then what do? You can download the IMAC and make it known to the whole world that this project is just 50% and not 100%. So these are the kind of things the ministry is doing to ensure that this plan is properly monitored and reported.
Now, almost finally, now there is going to be, of course, a change of government and governance come after the elections in a matter of weeks, or specifically in February. Many would ask that, won't this end up being another abandoned project, or is there a way that there's going to continuity in this very, very plan?
Thank you very much. We anticipate, when we are doing this plan, we anticipated that this kind of scenario will happen because, as I said before, we had done what we called plan review process. We reviewed the previous plan, and then we now noticed what and why the plan failed. Why didn't it achieve the desired objective 100%? So one of the things that happened was that the issue of frequent change in government will discard the previous plan and start a new plan, or even bring up what they call ad hoc strategies for implementing their programs and projects. So because of this, when we're doing this plan, we now have what we call volume 3 of the plan. That volume 3, as I said before, has in place what we call legislative imperatives. There was a bill the ministry had earlier forwarded to the National Assembly, what we call Development Planning and Project Continuity Bill. And that bill was meant to ensure that there is no, the plan implementation was not disjointed. Government does not discard the plan and then go ahead to put in place whatever they want to put. So this time around, we have the legislative imperatives that identified 18 laws and 10 policies that need to be either reviewed or amended to ensure that this plan is not discarded by any incoming government. So we have taken this into account. The plan covers this, all these things we are talking about. So that volume of the plan, as I talk to you, we are working on ensuring that there is a bill, what we call omnibus bill, going to National Assembly to ensure that what we intend to achieve is achieved. The government that's coming in 2023 will not throw away the plan, and then the plan is implemented as it should be.
Very interesting. Now, Dr. Okonkwo, before I let you go, what timelines should the masses be working with in accessing and, of course, evaluating this plan? Tell us.
Thank you very much. The international best practice is that plans are reviewed mid-term or end-term. This is a 5-year development plan, and the mid-term review of the plan will be in 2023. And the mid-term review will help us to look at what we have achieved. Are we on course to achieve what we want to achieve with the plan? And then we can make adjustments if there is need for us to do that, to make adjustments to see so that they ensure that we achieve what we want to achieve. We'll be on course. That's what they call the framework for plan, macroeconomic framework for the plan. It will state the targets and all the things you need to achieve in the plan. That framework can be reviewed midway into the plan implementation. Thereafter, at the end of the plan implementation in 2025, we will equally review the plan to see progress we have made, taking into account all the targets we have set in the plan to be achieved. These are the things, these are the ways we tend to monitor and ensure that plans are assessed and evaluated, both with the mid-term assessment and evaluation and end-term assessment and evaluation. When that is been done, the end term has been concluded. The next thing is when we are preparing a new plan that will succeed NDP 2021 to 2025, they will now take into account all those things we have noticed in the course of implementation of this plan, and then prepare the new plan with that at the back of our minds.
I would also like to have you here to also give us breakdown or evaluation and monitoring of all of this as time goes on. Dr. Felix Okonkwo, he is the Director, Macro, Ministry of Finance, Budget, and National Planning. Thank you so much for doing this, explaining us, letting us understand this, explaining this to us, and letting us understand what this plan is and what we should expect. Do enjoy your weekend.
Thank you very much.